So this is a mock off-season done by Dawgs by Nature. First thing they do is they've got a trade. Cleveland trades a 4th and a 5th round pick this year for DeForest Buckner and a 5th round pick in 2024. Okay, then they do some free agent signings. Mecole Hardman, safety Julian Love, defensive tackle A'Shawn Robinson, tight end Foster Moreau, and Moreau played pretty well when filling in for Darren Waller. All right, last part of this mock draft. Browns trade back from 42 to 51, picking up another pick later and then some picks in 2024. In the second round, they take defensive tackle Calijah Kancey from Pittsburgh. And then in the third round, they go with wide receiver Tyler Scott from Cincinnati. I got to be honest with you, Jeff. If they can make that happen, I'm all in. I think the money in free agency isn't outrageous. You know, Buckner's gonna eat up some of that cap savings. Hardman, Love, Robinson are all value type free agents.
I love where Jared went here with the free agency route that he did. Everybody seems to only talk about 2-3 options per position. I think Jared opened that up a little bit. Added some names there that maybe a lot of people aren't talking about. My one thinking is going to be Calijah Kancey is going to be interesting because to the Browns to this point. We know they've drafted a 6'4", 300-pound defensive tackle in Jordan Elliott, a 6'2", 300-pound defensive tackle in Tommy Togiai, and a 6'4", 290-pound defensive tackle, of course, in Perion Winfrey. Kancey, look, the athleticism was there. The tape is there. The production is there. But we're talking about a guy that we're going to call a defensive tackle, and he's 6 foot 281. Now, anybody who's played the Browns in the last couple of seasons, they've had zero issues running the ball. If a guy for me like Calijah Kancey comes on in the field, if I'm the quarterback, I'm audible to a run, and I'm going to make sure he can do anything about it because it's going to take a lot of bulk out of there. So the thing is, if you're going to draft Kancey, you're looking at it in a second round. Is this a guy that you think is going to be able to play every rep for you? Or is this a guy that you think you like as an interior pass rusher that you're going to bring in nickel and dime situations? If that's the case, I'm not so sure. Tyler Scott, the problem is the Browns' third round selection is going to be, anywhere, unless this was, part of a trade back, obviously, with the move that he made originally here is we're getting to yet another wide receiver here in this 70 to 90 range. We have Anthony Schwartz. We have David Bell. To this point, neither of these guys have come in and gotten the job done. So it's, drafting these guys here, it's all the same pool of guys. And when you have so many of them like the Browns do, whether it is Michael Woods, whether it is David Bell, whether it is Anthony Schwartz, how realistic is it with all of these guys basically competing for 1 or 2 spots that any one of these guys is going to step up? Who's going to get them enough opportunity, through OTAs, through training camp, that they're basically going to separate themselves from the herd? Granted, defensive line, defensive tackle, defensive end are going to be more probably pertinent picks at 42. But if you really, I think, want that wide receiver difference maker, most likely it would be at 42 than late third round, compensatory pick.